Give me a little music, and I'm going to give you some hot takes here.
Greeny's Takes.
I got 5 observations from things that I have seen watching the preseason games. These are my 5 observations as far as the NFL regular season is concerned. Number 5 is this. The New York Giants offensive line, they address it every year, and every year it gets worse. I don't even know what to make of this. They drafted Eric Flowers 9th overall, and I thought that turned out to be about as bad a draft pick as you could ever possibly have. Until they took Andrew Thomas 4th. I want the consideration to be made here is that as you're watching Andrew Thomas get beat both inside and outside last night, the 4th pick overall in the draft, the left tackle, that he was selected ahead of in the same draft, the kid Wirfs from Tampa and Becton from the Jets, both of whom look like they're going to be stars. He was drafted ahead of Justin Herbert, who the Giants absolutely loved and would have taken if he had come out in the draft the year before. But because he didn't, they decided to take Daniel Jones instead. So just contemplate what they have. They have Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, and Saquon Barkley, all of whom have been drafted in the top 6 in the last few years. Think about where they sit right now. If this offensive line is as bad as it appears it's going to be, then this is going to undo everything else I think about that team. And if it does, then change has to be made. You cannot fail to address your most glaring weakness. Take a guy in Andrew Thomas as high as they did, have him be the total bust that it appears he's headed towards being, and not have some sort of repercussion. You just can't do it. You can't pretend this isn't a problem. So to me, the Giants' offensive line is an enormous problem.
Number 4.
I'll do the numbers with them. Can Jamar Chase catch? I mean, what the hell is going on here? So Jamar Chase, I gave you all the numbers as I was building up to the NFL draft. Jamar Chase, in his big college season with Joe Burrow as his quarterback, he set all kinds of all-time records. He was the first player in the history, I believe, of all of college football to have at least 20 touchdown catches and average at least 20 yards a catch. He was 19 years old at the time. He has been thrown 5 passes in this preseason and dropped 4. He has dropped 4 of his 5 targets. Dropped. Not that they've been incomplete. He has dropped them. What was the number I saw you tweet about Larry Fitzgerald?
Jamar Chase has dropped more passes this preseason than Larry Fitzgerald has in the last 3 years on 450 targets.
Say that again. He has dropped more passes in 3 preseason games
than Larry Fitzgerald has over the previous 4 seasons on 454 targets since 2017.
I'm not going to overreact, but at some point that does become something of a concern, right? Because this is another guy they took ahead of a lot of other really good players, including an offensive tackle, which, you need to keep Joe Burrow standing upright. So that's my next observation.
Number 3.
Number 3. This one I hate saying. The Patriots are good. Like, really good. And Mac Jones, I'll just say it, he looks like Tom Brady. Now, that's not to say he's going to be anything close to Brady. No one in their right mind would ever project anyone to be Brady. Brady is the most accomplished player in the history of the sport. But Mac Jones looks just like him, except I think he's bigger, has a stronger arm, and is way better coming in. Now, Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick for a reason. He didn't play at all his first almost 2 years. But he didn't play at all his first year, and then he comes in because Bledsoe gets hurt week against the Jets in September of 2001. And the rest, of course, is history. That offense looks exactly the same as it always did. And Mac Jones looks great. So this is terrible news as far as I'm concerned. But the Patriots are scary good. Belichick has them back that fast. They got all those guys back on defense. They spent all this free agent money. They are ridiculously well coached. And they've got the quarterback to do it. So I think he's going to start week 1. But even if he does it, he will be their starter by mid-season. And he's going to be really good. Like, the Patriots and Mac Jones are going to be really, really good.
Number 2.
My number 2 observation, there's no way in the world San Francisco is rotating their quarterbacks. If you didn't watch this yesterday, then what you didn't see was they played Garoppolo and Trey Lance on the same drive repeatedly. Not alternating, not like a package for him and They played that and are trying to convince people that they're going to play both guys, like truly play both guys. And I'll say this, I don't care where we are. I know it's 2021 and a lot of things are different. And I have a lot of respect for the coaching there. You don't play two quarterbacks. You can get something out of your backup quarterback. Like I think they'll do that in a lot of other places this year. But you don't play two quarterbacks. If they're going to do what they have the ability to do this year, they have a weak schedule and a really good team. It's going to be with one quarterback. That doesn't mean that it can't be one and then the other, which is to say I believe Garoppolo will start the season. Doesn't mean that I don't think that by the time it's over, Trey Lance will be their starter, but they won't both be. I will have to believe that to see it. Even Kyle Shanahan, I would not say could pull that off. If you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one.
Number 1.
And finally, number 1, I was going to give you my take on the Bears, but then I hosted Get Up this morning, and Jeff Saturday just went nuts. So I thought better than giving you my take, let's let you hear what Jeff said. I said, Jeff, what do you think of the fact that the Bears are still going to go with Andy Dalton as their starter rather than Justin Fields? And here's what he said.
If I'm in the Chicago Bears locker room, I am pissed. Listen, you know who helps us win the game. Bottom line, man, this ain't about organizational future. I'm not a general manager. My job is to play good football and get paid on Tuesday because I earned it on Sunday or Monday. That's my job. Your job as a coach is to put the best 11 on the field. You know who the best 11 is? Justin Fields is one of them. So put him on the field and give us a chance.
I love it. And there's nothing I could say better than that. The best takes are the ones that come from the guys who played the game.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.